All right, everyone.
Just that.
You probably don't know what that is.
We should just be.
Maybe.
Let's just hang out for a little bit, and then we'll see if more people can come on. And
Yeah. I had a couple ladies come in and she bought one of your ghosts, and I said, you know, you can meet Michael Day on the ARTspot Facebook page. I said, you and I said, wait, it's Facebook. And they're like, can you write it down for us? Because we won't remember. What time? And so they won't be on there. They were very excited.
all right.
We're excited to meet you.
Yeah.
No, this is all about you tonight.
I said he's a surprise guest and nobody else knows it's him. And it's true, because, you know,
We have some viewers coming on,
it's a good cover.
and I'm just gonna go around the studio so everyone can see what's going on here. Chris's studio looks amazing, in my opinion.
So not only on top of all
The corrugated aluminum or whatever this is looks great.
Mhm.
that should be
I bet
behind
that's
you.
a
You got the
portrait
green,
of
right?
Catherine over there.
That was I got from. I kind of stole it from a place in Hawaii. When we lived
Let's see.
This kind of looks like her,
And
though.
we'll be doing a proper studio tour a little later
So it's like, what
That's
guy would
with Chris's narration.
there. Well, I painted that color because I was at Home Depot and it was in the clearance bin, and it was a really
So
good
you
quality
started with
paint.
the green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a hand-signed picture of somebody from
George
Vienna.
Jones.
Oh, George Jones.
George Jones, my dad got that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dang.
You see the one that sang that the song you see stuff loving her today? Was that his
Yeah.
signature song?
George Jones.
I love that you have your goggles and your model car.
So my dad used to race stock cars in the 50s. And
Cool.
that's his helmet.
All right, 4
What was your
viewers.
dad's name?
Hi, everyone who's joined. We'll be starting in just a little bit.
No, he.
Hey, Angeline, how's it going?
93 now. He was
Hey, James.
What's his name?
Angeline and James are on. They're watching.
That wasn't his pickup, was it? That you drove? Was
93.
it?
Yeah.
Angeline says it's working.
Is that why you
Okay.
went down there to drive the pickup back? Was that after you passed?
That was a couple of years after.
All right, here's the first live stream. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
I think we should start.
Okay. I'm just gonna go over and introduce Chris.
Sure.
And then, okay. Tell me when.
Yeah.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. We're live.
Okay. I'm not gonna do the mask.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tracy Felix, the owner of ARTspot Edmonds, and not too long after we were open, this guy walks in on an art walk night and says, "Hey, I'll go ahead and build you a 4th of July float." Remember
That's
that?
right. That's where
And
we
so that was Chris Miner, and ever since you've been literally every October, you are the guy that takes over ARTspot with his dead art with skeletons, very cool,
the window display.
window display, and Chris is an amazing artist and can build anything, including this beautiful studio.
Yes.
And I'm so pleased to get to come and see it finally.
That's awesome. Thanks for doing this. And
Yeah.
It's kind of a treat for me to actually see the shop this
Yeah.
clean because normally
Did
it's
you
a
clean it
mess.
up for us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I don't think that we literally are rated. Have any? Do we have any? Anyway,
Anyhow, no, it's
Be
normally
yourself.
it's when I'm working, it's pretty messy. This
Yeah.
is the cleanest you'll ever.
although I've seen printmakers as being very tidy. Like
Yeah,
you
but
do
I'm-
not get ink on the blanket.
Right.
Yeah, that we've got.
But yeah, normally it's not this nice.
Yeah.
looking, so.
So, I know that Art Walk in Edmonds is one of the best things ever,
Yes.
but Chris is actually the person that came up with the idea of doing Art Watch. And so this is our second Art Watch. And thank you for everyone for joining us. And I will hand it over to Chris Miner.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to ask any questions along the way, please feel free to do so in the comments. Yeah, I'm glad. I think Chris will and Mike will be glad to answer anything.
Well,
So,
I guess we can first of all do a tour
Mhm.
of the studio. We're gonna do it quick.
Nah, we know it's Chris Meyer.
Yeah.
So first thing you should know is that this is, yeah, get the beer.
Off the table.
It started out as a wood shop because I'm a carpenter. And then a couple of years ago I ended up moving the studio out here, so I've had to adapt it. But I'll just kind of take you through everything that's in here. First, the wood shop part, you have the table saw, that's kind of the hardware wood shop. So I got my badass Powermatic table saw and a nice outfeed table. And then over here, where the surprise guest is, that we won't say who yet. So that's my normal workbench for what I'm doing carpentry work. And so that's the setup. And then, so I'm doing carpentry, so I'm over behind here working on that bench, the table saw. And then when I'm doing the printmaking, the studio part, it flips, and I sit here, and this is the place I work for carving and all that kind of stuff, because it's a bigger table than that one, so it works out better.
It's the nerve center.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And this is perfect setup. I mean, you got the speakers, and the view and stuff. It's nice. And in the daytime you can't see, but there's a lot of trees out there, so it's a nice view. I should probably open that door.
Sure. Yeah, Angeline's saying there's some problems going on with the stream, so hopefully I can resolve that real quick.
Have you had a chance to fire the plates that we carved over there for the graphite?
Oh, the child's?
Yeah. Or is Julie doing that?
Okay.
I think we were close to starting the best count. We were in there, we went in last Friday and we rolled out more tiles, because we just want to make a ton of samples to make sure we get the glazes that we want. So kind of made like 20 more tiles, and we were in the studio yesterday cutting them up, and Julie took half home and I took half home. We were just trying different things and different glazes, so that we kind of honed in on like 4 different combinations. So next time we see you guys, I think we'll lay them out and we can make a decision the direction we're going to go.
Okay.
Back on?
Yep. Sorry, guys. And they're saying we should probably speak up a little bit because the audio, the mic on the camera really isn't that great. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of went through when this is a workshop. This is my workbench, table saw. When I'm in printmaking mode, this is my workbench, and then this is just for whatever overflow. If we go over here, this area here is where I actually do the printing. So normally, and I'll explain a little later how this all really works, but what I would do is I have my block here. I put my ink on this glass right here, ink up this block, bring it over to this press. And I'll show you how this is done a little while later, but that goes on here, paper goes on there, the blankets go on top of that. You run it through, you pull a print, and then the prints go in the rack.
Oops, the camera went limp.
So,
All right,
so that's
there we go.
this section here.
Cool.
And while we're here, we can look at the bathroom. That's,
All right.
You should show off that bathroom.
It's a
That's
nice
the
bathroom.
that's the latest
wood,
addition.
Ooh,
cool stuff.
It's tile, actually.
Yeah.
it's like a sauna.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a wet room. There's a shower in
And did you do the tiling?
there. Yes.
Very nice. Wow.
Turned into a sauna too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That is nice.
So
That's an official men and women's sauna.
Super impressive.
I know you like that.
Brittany says Uncle Chris.
From Florida. I have some relatives in Florida that are watching. So. Okay, and then over here, if we go over this way,
Mm-hmm.
this is just woodworking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Got a belt sander. Got my stuff here.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's
Joiner.
good.
And so this is my dad's old toolbox that he was a mechanic. He got this snap-on toolbox after World War II when he got out of the war, like in the 40s. And so I inherited that. So it's like 70 years old or something.
That is gorgeous.
But it works really good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, still
It's like an old friend.
works cool.
So this is
Um,
mostly woodworking tools and stuff like that, or just any sort of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just a toolbox. So
And
And then-
historical museum.
yes. And these are just, you know, cabinets to put stuff in.
Brittany says it looks awesome.
Oh, cool.
It's all about the color.
Oh, I love this.
Hey, you know, whatever. I channeled my inner Martha Stewart.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's a guy's studio and it has blue.
Hey, I take what I can get. These are salvaged.
Yeah.
Everything's salvaged. in
Yeah,
here.
It's,
So,
it's like a combination Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
And then back here is just more old portable table cart.
Oh yeah, I got the outlet
Little
strip
power
there, and
Yeah.
What's the story
Very
with the
cool.
boots, Chris?
Oh, that's later. That's for later.
Later.
Yes.
People better
It's a
stick with us.
teaser.
If they want to know about those boots, they need to stick with us.
Oh.
All
I
right.
got this. So you got
All
a
right.
going on here. I'm gonna tie it all together with a nice ribbon. at the
That's a
end.
design that Catherine does. She does that.
very
She
cool.
made those.
Tell them about your wife. She's an artist too.
She is.
Catherine, are you tuned in? Let us know if you're there.
Okay. So then, kind of the last area over here.
I'm like
is the,
the heckler. You know.
This is the press, the beast. So this, it's kind of interesting. I was looking for a press a couple of years ago, and I wanted a big one, but they're kind of hard to find. So I was on Craigslist, and I was looking. I was just looking through miscellaneous stuff, and this guy had a light box for sale. I already have a nice light box, but something made me click on that. So I clicked on it, and he also had this advertising this press for sale. And he told me he did that because he didn't really want to sell it, so he just kind of, but he needed to, so he stuck that in there, and I saw it and called him, and it was down in Auburn in a warehouse, and it was totally unassembled. So
What a stroke of luck.
there was no, and he didn't disassemble it, so it was like in 5 different areas of this warehouse, just parts and pieces.
So that was kind of a leap of faith that you were getting all the pieces.
Yeah, and so I ended up buying it and bringing it home and putting it together, but it was built by this guy named Glenn Alps, who's a pretty famous printmaker that taught at the University of Washington from like the 50s into the 80s. And he used to build these on the side, and he'd sell them to schools and universities and that sort of thing. This came out of Seattle Pacific University.
So how old do you think it is?
This was probably in the 80s, early 80s. He made about 30 or 40 of them.
And it looks nice.
You know who
The
Glenn
paint.
Alps was at the time?
Not at the time. I kind of learned from the guy that I bought this from. Because
Did you paint it? The
I
color?
did. Traditionally, these are painted orange.
Yeah.
His presses, but they're all kind of the same design. different sizes, and he would use salvaged parts. He'd go down to the shipyards in Seattle, kind of like these wheels here. Those came off of some salvaged boat. He'd just get these parts and have a welder kind of put it all together. But it's really cool. So with this thing, I theoretically can make a print that's just a second. So I can make a print that's so this is 3 feet, the wood part of this table. 3 by, let's see, about 4.5 feet, so I could have a block that's like this big.
Mm-hmm. And it'll go through that press.
And it'll go through that press.
Wow.
So that's huge for a
Yeah.
So when is it gonna happen?
So Mike and I were talking about inviting ourselves over for a printing day.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll bring the
Beer?
refreshments, yeah.
Sure.
And then you
Come over.
can pull that puppy out
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd
That's
be,
pretty fun.
yeah.
So
Am I invited?
of course you're gonna film.
That's right.
So that's kind of the tour. So the next thing I'm going to do is do a quick print so that you guys can see how this is actually done and how you get from carving something to an actual print. So, okay. So I'm going to start. This is what I'm going to carve. It's a petroglyph. This is what I do. This is the first exercise when I teach a class down at Cole. They call it Cole Studios? Or?
Mm-hmm. Cole Art Studio.
Yeah. So this is an exercise I do. So everybody can pick one of these designs. And what you do.
Oh,
my glasses.
A couple years ago.
So it was cool guy.
Yeah.
Just kind of fill this in. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be transferring this.
So Chris, where did you get that cool Lyra graphite crayon?
There's not an art store in town, is there?
Yeah, there's a place downtown on Main Street.
What's the name of it?
ARTspot.
I think we all know ARTspot Edmonds by now.
Okay, so you can use a pencil, anything, to go over this image, and then I'm gonna.
For a collector.
That's kind of dirty, but put that there, and then we'll just rub this.
Oh, I see. You're just transferring the graphite onto the. Oh,
so
nice.
that transfers there.
Very cool.
And basically,
I think we just glossed over this rock that he's using, the stone. Where'd you
This
find
one?
Does
that?
everything have a story? Does the walk have
Yeah.
a
this
story?
one I got at what's the place on Main Street?
Art Spot?
The wishing store.
The Wishing Stone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got that there. This is
Sorry
a
to plug into your business.
really cool one too. I got that at the Rock and Gem Club sale.
I've never been brave enough to go in there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm just doing this so I don't lose this outline. And the material I'm using here, it's a soft cut material. It's not actually linoleum, but it carves super easy. So that's why.
Like butter.
And butter. This is actually linoleum. It's like a floor linoleum, basically, jute back. But this is what I normally carve with because you can get a lot better nicer lines and stuff with it. So I'll work this out really quick.
Everything's so organized.
I'm telling you, that's
It's
because you guys are here. And I want to make a little
That's one
border.
thing good about having the studio tour every year. It forces you to kind of clean up a bit. But one year I didn't have a chance to clean up, and people said, I kind of like it better like this. It's more, you know, like they can really see.
Authentic.
Yeah. Not Francis Bacon level or anything. It's like you want to see all your stuff.
Yeah,
You want to have your stuff out.
yeah, that's a good idea. Leave it.
So I'm going to go around this whole figure.
Did you have many people that interacted with you for the studio tour? The virtual kind of thing? Wasn't too.
I mean, everybody who participated, I think they all saw.
When you're doing this, you want to make sure and keep your
At least try, yeah.
your hands on this side. You don't want to like carve this
Yeah.
way, where you can stab yourself. So
so, and the steadiness of your
But
hands come with practice, or are you just
yeah.
not
Well,
being?
this carves so easy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a little different technique when you're using linoleum because you got to put a lot more pressure on it so it can slip a lot easier. And it's gonna be.
We'll be ready next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you'll be amazed with this. It's really
Are you gonna do it short?
I don't know.
gonna be quick.
Because I'm always trying to kind of spread myself between the store and having something happen and then me having the studio. But having the new place, I might, you know, kind of have a.
And normally I would be teaching a class. Like
At the condo.
I always do it in November, but it's been canceled this year.
So what do you do to remedy that? Are you sort of adapting well enough, or?
Yeah,
Been
the
kinda
two
hard.
things that I normally that are my busiest times of the year is September with the studio tour, which got canceled, and then the class that I teach. So, but fortunately, there's a place downtown Edmonds. It's an art store called ARTspot.
ARTspot, tell us more.
I'll tell you more, Mike. They actually they have some of my stuff for sale there, and I guess the other day they sold some.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
That's awesome.
And a suit.
Two of them. That's important, you know.
To a man in a yellow hat.
Yes.
I'm going for the high class crowd.
Being curious story.
So I see that you're doing some like texturing on the.
Yeah, see,
Is
when
that-
you do this, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can play around with. Right now, I'm just kind of doing an outline, and then just kind of mirroring it.
Mm.
And I'm leaving these ridges in here, and those will show up when I print. You can clear it out so you see nothing, but I kind of like the ridges from the carving lines. But you can, you can do whatever, some kind of curvy, wavy lines. You're just removing material.
And Brendan said that's badass, brother. With the surfer hands. Thank you everyone for watching, by the way. Everyone that's on. We just went through a little studio tour if you missed it. But we will be posting this, the whole stream afterwards, and on our YouTube as well. And again, if you guys have any questions, please in the chat if you'd like to.
Chris, how did you get started printmaking? How did that happen?
How did that happen? That's an interesting story. I'm glad you asked, Mike.
No problem. I'm here for you.
So, when I turned 50, I was doing a little self-evaluation kind of thing. And, I mean, I wasn't depressed or anything. It wasn't like that, you know. I'd already gone
But
a
it'd
few...
be okay if you were.
It would be. I'd already had a few midlife crises by then, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that. But anyhow,
I,
but I used to just, you know, I'd come home from work, have a couple beers, watch TV, go to bed, and then do the same thing, you know, the next day. I just decided I wanted to find something to do, and I always liked art, so I was like, well, I'm going to find a class to take. And at the time, I mean, there weren't a lot of classes going, but there was something that Edmonds Community College had. I forget the name of it, but it was, you know, some one-day art classes and stuff. Not Artists Connect, was it? No, that's not it.
it was probably Arts Now.
Arts Now, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I took a class. It was a one-day linocut class. And I mean, the class wasn't that great. Obviously, it was enough to get me interested in the subject, but the class I teach is way better than the one I took. Mike's been to it, he knows.
Absolutely, it changed my life.
It does. Pretty much everyone that's been there says that. Anyhow, so, you know, I took that class and then I started just kind of farting around, and the first thing I did was these Christmas cards. And actually,
Is that the meow ones?
I have one.
I still have mine with a Christmas card.
Yeah.
So I did a series of them, but, so that's one right there. And so I'd make those every year and mail them to family and friends. I mean, that's when people used to do a lot more of that. Christmas cards.
Yeah.
You know, written.
Back in the old
written.
days.
Yes.
You stopped doing it?
And then, so I started doing that, and then I did some Japanese prints based on photos that I took in Japan. And, you know, I'm looking at them, and, you know, I was as surprised as my friends were that they were actually turning out kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So.
You have a very unique style.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, so I did that, and then one year I decided I was gonna enter the Edmonds Arts Festival, the juried thing, and I was working on one of the skeleton prints at the time, and I wanted to enter one of those in,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't have time, so I'm like, I'll just try a couple of these Japanese prints just to kind of see what the process was.
Yeah.
And so I entered 3 of them, and they all got accepted. And so I went to they have the little party thing,
Yeah,
reception
yeah.
for the artists. You've been to that,
The
right?
soiree. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going just because of the free food and beer and wine and
Yeah.
stuff.
And
mostly.
because me and Mike were going to be there, so.
I didn't know you guys did.
Well, yeah, but you didn't know, but that's why you were there.
Yes. So anyhow, so I go there, and they're, you know, listing off the winners and all this, and they're doing the printmaking, and I think there's like, you know, first, second, third, and honorable mention, something
Yeah.
like that. So they're going through honorable mention. You know, I'm not hearing my name because I wasn't expecting to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to the last, and it was like first place, and they called my name for one of those prints.
What a great feeling.
And so 2 of the 3 sold that weekend too.
That's so awesome.
Bonus.
Yeah. And so, well, after that, I kind of had a big head for a little while. I was just like, this art stuff's pretty easy.
Yeah. And then your prints started getting bigger too, to go
Well,
with.
Yeah, but then
Match your ego.
the next few years, I was entering the festival with the skeleton prints, and I mean, they were getting accepted, but wasn't winning anything.
Oh, so it took. Oh, okay. That wasn't the next year then.
No.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then,
Mhm.
but finally, so the first one was in 2011,
Mhm.
and then in 2014, that print right there,
Mhm.
that won first place. So I did get a skeleton one to.
Mhm. It hit. Yeah.
Which that might be my favorite print of yours.
Yeah, and I like that it's a good. It's an 18 by 24 this size.
Something like that. So this is Bill Monroe. He's a famous bluegrass, the father of bluegrass.
Mhm.
And if you look, see his name here? Oops.
Oh,
See
yeah.
the Bill. Do you see the name?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really cool. That's a
Very
little
cool.
bonus.
Yeah.
Subtle.
bonus
Is that
there.
when you named your studio My Dead Art?
How that came about, really. Where did you come up with that name?
There's
Oh,
gotta
that
be a
was-
story there.
Well, it was going to be just Dead Art, but that was taken. So,
Mhm. Dead Art Studio.
so I just did
Yeah.
My Dead Art instead. Okay. Well, this is taking too long. It's almost done.
Let me go ahead and introduce Chris again.
Sure.
So, in 2013, I think it was that Chris Miter walked into ARTspot on an art walk night, and Sue Robertson was the guest artist that night, and it's the first time we met. Chris came in and saw that we had designs out on the table, which are our mystery guest that's coming up next designed, and wasn't able to finish the build on. So Chris said, having never even met us before, I'll build that, and we did. You had this fantastic experience with the 4th of July float that you made.
And it was on a pendulum.
Yeah, yeah.
Kinetics.
It wasn't
if you-
just.
Yeah,
It wasn't
so
just.
if you come into ARTspot, remember that time we lifted that great big dog thing up above on the thing that's above the thing? And that's the dog from.
That's the dog.
Yeah, yeah. So that was fun. Anyway, Chris has been an integral part of ARTspot ever since, and is always our featured artist in October. So although Art Walk isn't happening right now, we are still featuring Chris's work, and it was Chris's idea to turn Art Walk into Art Watch. So here we are doing a live feed for a studio visit with Chris Feiner.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
yeah.
This is great.
So now we're gonna get the ink out.
Yeah. We're gonna print this thing up and see what it looks like.
Oh, Brent says it's an awesome studio space.
Well, thank you.
Hi, Brent.
How many times did you hear that during the Edmonds Art Studio tour?
Yeah, you were here.
Oh, Julie Perrine says, can we drop by? Julie, I think, is always invited. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Julie's always invited. Hey, Julie.
Oh, then there was the time, I just remembered today, that the set designer for Criminal Minds, the TV show,
There you go. You gotta tell that story.
came
Yeah.
into ARTspot, and it was in October.
Uh-huh.
And so my stuff was in their store. If you didn't know, ARTspot is an art store. It's on Main Street. What's the address?
It's in Edmonds.
What's the address?
408.
408 Main Street. Anyhow, so this person came in and a bunch of my stuff was there and she liked it and ended up contacting me and I sold them some art and they blew up a couple of pieces and it was in the TV show 2 or 3 different times.
I did not know that. That's a great piece of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some Edmonds lore.
Yeah.
One of your Japanese friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because she wanted the Japanese stuff, not the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbara Goodfellow Child says, love the space and how organized it looks to access all your tools and machines.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't normally look like this. Just so you know.
Oh, and she also says, who's that lurking character in the background? Looks like a Potter to me. I'm not sure. Oh,
Oh,
there he
he's a
is.
mystery guest.
A lot of people think I look like Harry Potter.
We still.
Must be his glasses.
Okay, so the ink, what you want to do is get it so it's the texture. I don't know if you can see this, but it's more of a sound. You kind of hear it pulling, the sticky kind of sound. You want it like that. I'm going to ink this up.
That's very satisfying to look at.
It's like magic.
It is.
Is that water-based or is that water-based ink? Or
This is water-based. I use water-based when I'm just developing a print and doing test pulls and stuff. But for final prints, I'll use oil-based ink.
Why is that?
Well, it's just a better quality ink, and it doesn't, it won't smear. Water-based never really sets unless you spray it with a fixative or something. Yeah, if you get it wet or moisture, it'll smear.
It'll reconstitute, huh?
Yeah,
So you can't hang them outside in the garden.
good. Yeah, hang a piece of paper outside in the
It'll
garden. That's a good
evolve.
idea.
Hey, my work you can.
Okay. Anyhow, so obviously I'm hand rubbing this. And I'll show you a little later how the press works. So that should be good enough. So we'll see how it looks. Big reveal.
Yay!
Drum roll.
That's the best thing I've ever seen you do
Thank you.
today.
So anyhow, so you saw how quick that was. Pretty simple, fun stuff. So that's that. I think. Well, I got the ink out and stuff. I'll go ahead and do a print
So
of
clean.
this year's poster.
Awesome.
And so normally, like I was saying, I ink stuff up over there.
Yeah.
But for today, I'm going to do it here because you kind of have it thrown over there. Out of the way.
So Chris, now you're going to need to tell us the story of your annual print that you've been doing now for 6 years, is it?
Bryn's asking what this is. I think she missed what we were talking about.
We need to plug the wishing stone.
The Wishing Stone in Edmonds.
That's where I bought that.
That's where
rock.
Chris bought it, and another guy here too. It's pretty cool. Looks like a
Looks like a dragon.
like a top. Yeah, like a dragon's egg.
This is a really nice one.
Artists love tactile things, you know?
Well, and this medium for me worked out good. Because I mean, I'm used to working with tools and that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
When I was looking for something to get into, it's like the classes. It's like because Edmonds really need another watercolor. And it's
Watch it.
well, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to offend anyone there, but I mean, I love watercolor,
Say abstract.
and I actually took a watercolor class from James.
Oh, James Farron.
Yeah, I took his class. He's
Yeah. Awesome,
super good
awesome
artist.
guy, and he's a great teacher.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I know. James, where did you go?
I took him on one of my beer bike rides before.
Yeah. I miss him.
Because he used to work
I
in the
get
store.
attached to my art spotters. Well, anyway, you want to tell us about your annual prints?
Yeah. So you know what it started out with is have you read that?
You want to see what's going on over here?
Just prepping some
Some
stuff that is
Mike O'Day work in the works.
Yeah,
Very neat.
basic forms.
We always love seeing new Mike O'Day stuff in the store. It's like, ooh, there's a new Mike O'Day sculpture coming in. Like,
Nice teaser. I think they're on to us though.
Yeah.
Everything. They're on to that you're there. surprise.
I think we both like October. We're
Yeah.
October people.
Yeah. Oktoberfest is in October too.
Yeah. So when we do the Edmonds Art Studio tour,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of line up a lot of my stuff with his prints, and it's kind of, they work well together.
Yeah.
They play well together.
And we have the most fun.
And
Yeah.
then we go to the Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a really good example, though, too, of how, you know, like there are artists tucked into every nook and cranny of Edmonds, and really everywhere in the world. It's just such a cool thing. And if you live in a neighborhood long enough, you'll probably discover the artists that are tucked in around you. But this is a good example of that.
So you were talking about, this is the very first one I did. And I'll print this up. Do you remember this?
I love that.
The Happy Halloween thing. That was the first time I did that.
Yeah.
one.
So is this linoleum or the
Yeah.
softer? So
That's-
this,
that's the
how
one.
many impressions can you get off of a lino cut?
I don't know. I've
Let's
never
find
not
out.
been able to
Not
do
got to
this.
the end.
Let's find out tonight.
So they're really resilient.
But I'll do one of those really
Yeah.
quick too.
Very cool.
And of course, it's reversed because it's you have to do your all your topography backwards to read right when it's printed.
Yeah, so Chris, as a person who's done this in the past, have you ever done that, one of your first prints where you've actually did the letters the right way and you pulled the print and you said, whoops,
That's how I learned that lesson.
and then you never made the mistake again?
What's going on over here?
No, because I'm self-taught. Other than that one day class I took, so
Yeah.
it was trial and error. But I was doing actually I did a small version of the Johnny Cash. I was first working that up, and I started carving the sun rating or sun label. Carved it, looked really good, and I'm like, oh, I'll do a test print, and it was backwards. Okay. So this is going here.
Will you pull a winner twice there? Will you pull a
What kind of paper is that?
whole bag of?
I got two different kinds of paper. This is I'm not sure what the weight on this is, but it's a decent quality paper. It's a little thinner than I use for some of my prints. I gotta tear this in half.
What is it? Is it BFK or?
This was like a sale product I got at Artisan Craftsman Supply.
Mm-hmm. It's
The
nice,
one I-
soft, kind of a soft white.
So this is what I use.
This is your good stuff.
Yeah, this is a Stonehenge
Mm-hmm.
product. That's what I would normally use for stuff. I guess I could have torn up some of these. 15. Okay. So I'm just eyeballing this. If you were wanting to get it perfect, you could set it up with registration marks. But I'm just that on there. And you have the blankets. So there's 3 blankets. They're all different thicknesses. So you have the first one, which is called the catcher blanket, and that's, I guess, because some prints you actually wet them down, so this catcher will absorb some water. That's what I call the catcher. There's the cushion blanket that helps distribute the roller evenly, and this is the pusher blanket that helps push it through. So I think this is set up. I'm not sure if the pressure's set exactly right on guess, but we'll see.
Do you get a do-over if it's not right? You go backwards?
Yeah, you can, and you can also, you can pull it up halfway and like re-ink it and put it back down if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can, as long as you don't slide it.
Yeah.
I do put that, so I'm just gonna go in faith and say it printed right.
Because you're a professional.
So
Woohoo! Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I'll see it's not really. See all those white specks.
Mm.
So this wouldn't be an acceptable print here. So this would
I think it's
go
cool.
in the region.
I like it.
Oh.
Oh.
So
But it's like quotes from India that says that imperfections are part of the beauty because it's a handmade
Right.
food.
but no, that really bothers me. 'Cause
Okay.
it's
Mm.
all.
Yeah.
I like the blacks to be nice.
Like a
And,
real solid black.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's your art, so you get to say.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna do is really quickly. I'm gonna print this one up, and then we have a surprise guest.
Julie says, Mike, we should try this on the slab roller.
Julie, don't give away our surprise guest.
We actually do some clay printing sometimes with Julie, just with the same kind of thing. Instead of that, we use a slab of clay and carve it. And
Chris, I kind of like the dots. It's just because they're even. It's not like there's just like one little spot where there's not good coverage.
Well,
I see what you're saying. You're
not-
losing
it's
detail.
not professional
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
It's like-
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Would it be sacrilegious to like go in with ink and touch it up? Like actually touch up the print? Or
He's an inker. That's why he's
Yeah.
asking that. You ink.
If you're gonna sell it now,
okay.
not
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you, maybe.
Yeah.
You can do whatever.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
because over time, with that maybe fades, you can kind of see those imperfections. Kind of.
I just wouldn't do that.
It's not solid coverage. Yeah.
Let's see.
So this is, you can stop me, mask up 19, is that a 60, what is that? I was thinking that you would have like a hidden 2020 in here. You don't actually put the year on for your annual
Not
edition.
really, but that's COVID-19, that's why the 19's there.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
From this angle, it looks like COVID 61.
Mhm.
really? This is what I gotta put up with. Okay,
You
you're not
can, you
invited
can, you
next
can
year.
tackle
No
him
more-
back when he's doing his
No more
demo.
special guest for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more special beer for you.
Oh, that reminds
Did
me.
you bring the beer tonight,
I'm
Bob?
getting kind of thirsty.
I
Oh,
brought
thank
some
you.
and he brought some.
Oh, okay, I didn't bring anything, I'm just,
So
I
I don't know
brought
if you
Ray.
can catch this on the camera, but so when I'm hand rubbing this, if you look over here, I don't know if you can pick it up, but you can kind of see almost the imprint. Do you see
See if I
the reflection? I can kind of see what I've rubbed almost.
Well, you can
You
definitely
might
hear
not
it.
be able to. Might not be able to catch that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
You
it
can-
makes an impression, so you
I like the
can
sound too.
Yeah, you can
kind of
get-
see it.
You can see it. Karen says, "Why did that happen? Pressure or ink got a little dry on the
Oh, that?
yeah."
Well, that was the first pull that I inked up that plate on, so a lot of times the first one will be a little off.
Sure.
That's not unusual. But yeah, it's just the ink. And I'm not taking as much time as I normally would.
Does that, the plate that you carved, does it kind of, the first one, like absorb a lot of the ink? So maybe the second time you...
Yeah. So here's the. It's kind of crappy too, but put that down.
This is
So
a
that's
more
the first one I carved.
like egg color, sort of eggshell color paper that you're using here.
Yeah. And I do these on different colored paper.
Sure.
I have a whole collection of them, and I
Yeah.
take very good care of those, and I put them
But
out.
yeah, that turned out good. I like that.
Bryn says, "We have to wait another 41 years for COVID 61."
That's thinking there.
Yeah.
And then Karen says, so it's like a sacrificial pancakes theory, like with the first print going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first batch of cookies is
Yeah.
always just
Yeah.
terrible.
Back on this.
Yeah.
No problem. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break and have a
Sure.
beer.
Yeah, let's, and probably
I'm
just
gonna
need
turn it
some,
over to the special guest.
All right.
And
Are we still on?
we are still on. I'm just
Okay.
gonna,
Set you up, Mike.
yeah, let's
Okay.
see this.
So you going to introduce Mike?
You introduce Mike.
Okay. There's Mike. So Mike is a ceramic artist that does really super cool,
That's super cool.
whimsical,
Corky.
quirky, fun characters he creates with his artwork. And he's with me. I'm going to do the studio tour. And normally in September, he's here sharing the studio with me. And he's a drinking buddy, so that helps too.
We both like quality.
We like good beer,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
So
You can plug Bridget if you want.
Yeah, that's our spot.
Yeah.
Bridget's Bottle Shop, Jack.
So Tracy, don't you have an art supply store in Edmonds? On Main Street?
Well, I met you at ARTspot, which
Yes.
opened in 2012, but Mike and I go back because you wouldn't think we were old enough to have grown children, but we do,
Oh.
actually. And we were co-op parents together with Julie
Really?
Green and Mary Olson, and so many of these folks have come together to
At Maplewood?
continue the art community here in Edmonds, and I show your work at ARTspot, and anyway, it's just been really fun hanging out with you and getting to see what you're doing. But tell us about you have the window over there.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So Chris is really into Halloween, as you can see, with all his skeleton stuff. Is really stark black and white stuff that I love.
Mm-hmm.
When we do the Edmonds Art Studio Tour, we matched up really well because I like working with a lot of black and white stuff. This is the time of year where I make a lot of skulls and ghosts. So I really like the simplicity of working with this clay. It's called LFO6, and it's kind of a dark gray clay. But when you fire it, it fires a really nice bright white. So kind of more like this. This is with the black kind of rubbed in, but the back of that is just a really nice bright white. And it's really nice and smooth. It doesn't have a lot of clays that people throw with, make plates functional wear. They have a little bit of grog in it, so it's like a little bit of sand, fine sand. So it kind of helps with the structure. But if you're doing stuff that's not functional, you don't have to worry about it slumping. So when I do stuff that's gonna be indoors and just more kind of whimsical, kind of fun sculptures, I just love this clay. So when I make these kind of guys, I'm making I just got some forms I was working on while Chris was doing some printmaking. And I just kind of start with a form like this, solid, and then I just kind of work it. It's like a pinch pot, so I just kind of pinch it out, and I kind of get it in this general shape if I want to make a skull. So whenever you make a sculpture, you don't want to make it solid. If it's solid, it takes forever to dry, and then if you put it in the kiln, it'll probably crack or explode. So any kind of sculptures, you want it kind of hollowed out, thinned out, like so. So if I'm going to make a skull like this, I kind of start with this, make a pinch pot in this shape, and then I start working it like so. So I kind of like working with a fair amount of water and a sponge. So if I just get my sponge and a wood tool, mainly when I'm working, the things I work with the most are wood tools and loop tools, some of these guys. So I like to keep it pretty basic. So if I just took one of these guys, got it a little bit damp, And if I want to make the eye, I'll just kind of make a circle.
So this friend,
And I'll just kind of push it in a bit.
stuff on the boots and the
And I like kind of working loose.
So that's Catherine, does this doodle kind of style.
Since it's a
So
skeleton,
I had her draw this, do it.
I kind of like having some texture in the clay. So once I kind of work the eyeballs out,
Yeah, similar. So, and I just kind of, I pulled one test from it.
grab a little bit of clay. And if the clay is wet enough, it's moist enough, it's really sticky.
Yeah, so
I've taught a lot of kids classes, and the thing that they remember the most is when you're attaching two things, you say scratch and attach. So just a little scratch, a little bit of scratch. Like I said, if the clay is really wet, you don't have to worry about it that much.
well, I was gonna have her kind
And just kind of smooth it in there.
of open up with it.
Like I said, I kind of like working fast on these guys and keeping them simple.
Well, this will be fine because
Just scratching and attaching because you need to give it a little bit of grip to sort of mold together, like
Yeah.
blend together. Yeah.
If the clay is extremely wet, you don't have to worry about that as much. But you know, when I'm working with the kids, if they take two pieces and they'll attach a nose, and I can't see what they did, and then when I put it in the kiln, when I pull it
falls
out,
off.
pieces fall
Yeah.
off, right? And you look and it's like, oh, that piece wasn't scratched at all, so that's why it popped off. Alright, so the simplicity of these guys, it's basically make these holes, stick on a nose, like making a little coil. Cut two equal pieces approximately.
sorry to jump in front of you, Mike, but you need a
Thank you.
refill?
Absolutely. So two little like pea-sized eyes. So these are really great tools. Whenever I go to my dentist, I kind of ask them, hey, have you got any tools that are kind of getting dull, and they get to the point where they don't want to use them anymore. So these dental tools.
Really? They
For-
didn't you?
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
They're really, really sharp. So when I'm attaching little pieces like this is something I definitely want to scratch and attach. Scratch both surfaces. And this is slit. This is just the same kind of clay body, just with a little bit of water. So it's just kind of a nice soupy, kind of thick consistency.
Yeah, Brennan and I are. Those are real dental tools. That's wild.
Next time you go to the dentist, get your teeth cleaned. It's like, hey, you got any dental tools you want to get rid of?
Such a good idea.
Well, then you could clean your own teeth too, right?
You know,
You gotta
sometimes I
drill.
do. If I got something stuck between my teeth, I'll go into my clay
Wash
box.
the clay off.
Now we're wondering if that's true or not.
I'm not going to tell you, because if I say it's true, my dentist probably won't give me any more tools.
Oh no.
Oh,
He's
Brent's
watching tonight.
Yeah, it's like he's cleaning his own teeth. He's not going to come here anymore.
Or he might say, "Dang, I'm gonna give all my patients tools because they go home and clean their teeth." If there's any dentists, please let us know how you go with that. Which way you'd go on that.
Brent asks, does Mike ever make his own tools, like out of guitar string or?
You
something
know, I
like that?
have a lot of respect for those people that do that, but I'm too lazy. No, I don't.
There you go.
There's a lot of
Respectable.
people who do.
No, you gotta spin it that your time is so
My
valuable.
time is so valuable.
Yeah.
And if I wanted a tool, I could probably find it at ARTspot down on
True.
408 Main Street.
Exactly.
Actually, you don't carry too many clay tools, but if I wanted to get some paper and some art tools to inspire myself, like this handy dandy notebook that I probably bought at ARTspot on 408 Main Street.
Let's just say you did.
I definitely got this marker. You might have given me
Actually, I think we've got a little bit more sculpting stuff in the
I
sculpting.
actually brought you. Actually brought you a little swag tonight.
Ooh, I got swag.
Yeah.
And Jillian Davis says, "Hi, neighbor."
Oh, hi. How are you? All right, so the simplicity of this, boom. Like doing that. A little bit out of whack a little bit. And, you know, I could just do a simple thing like so and
Yeah, that's what we would like because it's very similar. Yeah.
This is
yeah.
swag.
So boom, it's done. Instead of, you know, sometimes, you know, do something more detailed that'll take like a few weeks to make. These are kind of nice. It's like, boom, you're done. You fire them, you drop them off at ARTspot on 408 Main Street in Edmonds, right past the fountain.
You should be our spokesperson, our mascot.
One more little thing I kind of like doing is making a nice little hanger. This is just a real quick thing to make a little thing so you can attach it by a nail in the back. It's just kind of push that, kind of curve that a bit, get my needle tool, make a nice little hole.
And when you fire them up, they turn white, or
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a it's a dark gray clay.
And then you rub ink into them. How do you get the?
that's
it's
acrylic,
a black
right?
underglaze.
Oh,
So an
So
underglaze.
that's the second firing, or?
Yes. Yeah. So it goes through the first firing. It goes. I fire my stuff to cone 04, which is like 1,945 degrees, and then I get stuff called underglaze. So underglaze is kind of more of a what you see is what you get. It's almost like a paint, but it's for firing in the kiln. So I get some black, and I just slather black all in there, get inside the teeth and the eyes and all these little areas, and just kind of leave a little bit on there so it looks a little, patina.
a little weathering.
Yep. And just kind of refire it to about the same amount.
And if you wanted to paint them different colors, you would paint on the raw first, or would you fire it up first?
You can do it either way. Like I have these guys here,
I like this.
and that's a red underglaze.
Just the
So
color contrast.
I know,
Yeah.
That's
they're
really
great.
nice.
possibly you can when the clay, not this wet, but when it gets more leather hard or a little bit drier, you can paint that red on and fire it. The first firing. But the thing about the black is you have to wait and to rub it into all the crevices, right? So. All right, so that's just a little hanger like that, and then I just kind of turn it around. And this is where you definitely have to scratch and attach because this otherwise it will fall off the wall. Just kind of stick that together,
Chris, don't you have these Catherine?
Oh, I see. Very cool.
kind of rub it in,
So it's just
and
Keep it
it's just a
simple.
little insurance here is to do that.
Do you ever embed like little hardware into the sculptures, or no?
I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
there is some kind of wire you could buy
no.
and do it that way, but I just kind of like doing it
Yeah, simple.
this way. Yeah, pretty much stick a nail in. Well, if that was cleaner.
Alright.
Yeah, throw a nail, boom.
Very
Good to
cool. All right.
So I don't know if you want to see another demo. I also make these kind of skeleton guys, and I kind of got to start there. Or
Yeah.
yeah, do another.
So if we're gonna do another, let's. This I think is running out of battery, so we might have to set up everything over here while it's charging. So just take a minute. Okay.
Is that still live?
Yep, still live. Sorry guys, just
Okay.
making
How about
sure.
if we do our goodie bag drawing for the month of October? Want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know we were gonna do that, but that sounds
So exciting!
fun.
We have two more really exciting things.
Throw a skull in there. Little skull.
Oh my god, that would be so exciting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so every month ARTspot gives away a goodie bag. And if you come to the front counter, you'll see the little slip that says goodie bag drawing. It used to have a sign that said, legible, otherwise we won't be able to call you. And so, it's a thing. But yeah, anyway, there's colored pencils, and there's paper, and there's pens, and there's golden paints, and there's core watercolors. And Mike, oops, I just dropped it. Did I break it? No.
It probably didn't
It's
break.
sturdy art. This art was just dropped in it, just fine. Mike, just thank you, Mike.
There's a
You're
nice,
welcome.
there's a nice rubber pad right below
An
you
actual
too.
real artist piece of. Oh wait, it's not this one. It's this one. This is the one that's in it.
Yeah, that's one. This one's a
I
lot.
almost gave away two by accident. You'll then you can't take it back. Okay. All right. All right. So these are the people that filled out the goodie bag, and let's see if we have a winner.
Look, there's some kind of people that kind of crinkle it up, and those are the ones that
Different
always win.
techniques,
Because
definitely.
I have a friend who's done that before at the Edmonds Art Festival, and actually won. I'm not going to name names, who it was.
Let us know if you're a crinkler or a folder.
Yeah, or just leave it flat.
I'm going to do the flat person, the person that actually did it right.
Oh, you have, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
nice and
is
flat.
it legible?
I don't know.
Or do you have too much fear you can't read it? Which one?
I think I can do this.
Oh, good.
Jordan Conrad.
Jordan Conrad.
Jordan Conrad.
We'll be giving you a call,
Easy name.
and congratulations. It's our tradition to always pull a winner for Art Walk Night. Art Watch counts too.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's
This is
it.
our watch thing.
We love giving away
This
some.
is an art watch thing.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what
our
this is
watch,
like?
Mike.
Is
That's
this,
where we're at
is this the first art watch ever?
Well, the first Art Watch was Ray.
last month.
Ray, come over here.
Okay.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, this is Ray.
Hey,
Classical singer of Ronaldo Rusi.
Man behind the
Tell
camera.
us a little bit about yourself.
I'm
On the spot.
just an artist, an inker, a guy who draws and does some videography and stuff on the side. And I work at ARTspot from time to time. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, Ray, thank you for filming tonight, and we're really just, I love hanging out with you.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks
It's
a lot.
great. Yeah, I've never been here, so and everyone's seeing this studio for the first time. I think, yeah, so I think to me it looks great.
And you wore black and white.
Yeah.
Right. So the practice video was last month. It was you and Bryn and
Yeah, and
Angeline
And
making sculptures.
yeah, we started sculpting okay, so the stream was supposed to be like 2 hours, not even 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, and basically like more than half of the time we were just setting up our armatures, and
Yeah.
we didn't even actually get into the sculpting, so we didn't really get any progress on. But Bryn showed some really great tips on how to make professional armature, because she was actually an animator. Yeah, Angela and I sort of just made these crummy little armatures with, like, I just made a ball of aluminum foil and I just put clay on top of it.
Well, I saw an image of it. It's actually pretty awesome. So.
Yeah, I am finishing it actually. I didn't abandon it because usually I'll start something and then totally abandon it. But it is on my Instagram if you guys want to see what the progress of.
What's your
What's your
Instagram account?
Instagram account?
Ray Rusi Art.
I saw it.
Awesome.
Pretty simple. RAYRUSI Art.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
All right, so
Great.
Chris, you have another artist to introduce us to.
You gonna do? He's gonna do another
Oh.
thing first.
Okay,
I don't know.
let's do Catherine.
You wanna do that?
We're
And
gonna
then go back
squeeze
to Mike?
Catherine in, and then
That
we'll
should
come
be
back to Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I can leave this down. I'm gonna pull another print, and this is based on. This is a collaborative.
Big word.
Impressed?
Yeah.
Thank you. Effort with me and my lovely wife, Catherine.
Yay, Catherine!
Come here. So anyhow, she does this. Yes.
Yeah.
She does this design that I don't know what you would call it, but show them.
You show 'em.
Just you can show them and just explain a little bit and show them.
Oh, it's just kind of doodling and Making of pictures, representations of things I like cats. I love kitties. There's a kitty. On this side, it's pretty random. Here's a Seahawk for the Hawks. Go Hawks.
And show them the boots.
Oh, and so I've done it on different things. This is what I first started with was just some boots, an old pair of boots. I added some rhinestones, and
That's so neat.
then I just took a Sharpie to the whole thing. So there's that one. They're different on each one.
Very cool.
So that's
And what are you using? Using the
this on the boots and the purse. I just used a Sharpie,
very
a
nice.
silver and gold Sharpie.
I see that you guys are really into like the subliminal sort of hidden
Yeah.
stuff here. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
I was
There's like
born in Year of the Snake, so here's my
there you
little
go.
snake, and I've got my initials on it. I've got a sort of Picasso-esque woman's face.
and gold and
Other
silver
hidden
Sharpie.
stuff. Yeah.
Very
yeah,
cool.
That's it. An eyeball.
So I liked what she did, and so I asked her to do a drawing of that on a piece of linoleum, which she did, and then I carved it out.
Mm.
I pulled one test print a couple weeks ago. I mean, I've worked on a bunch since then, but there were some more things I needed to do, which I did actually today. So it may be finished, I don't know, but I'm gonna pull a print for the first time of this one.
Oh,
Virgin print.
so we're seeing the first print.
Okay.
Yeah.
I better you could for your stuff. Anyhow, that's pretty cool.
Josh says, Josh Heron says, those boots are dope.
Awesome.
Thank you, Josh.
Boots are made for
I was
walking.
gonna say,
Yeah. Hi, Josh. How's Rita feeling? How's Rita doing? Josh and Rita are expecting their first baby.
Oh, congratulations, guys.
How far along?
Beginning of first or third trimester, I think.
It's kinda
Beginning of third
interesting.
it
trimester.
took a while to
It's
come
just
out.
gonna.
Christmas baby, kind of.
It did.
Ooh,
It was
yeah.
like, but it's kind of fun when you're doing this kind of stuff where it's not. I mean, you can screw it up, but you can fix stuff really
There's no
easy.
words in there.
There's no words. Yes.
He says, hey, Rita's doing great.
So it's you just kind of get into doing it. And you can,
Yeah.
when you're into something, you're thinking
So
about your
Kathleen,
stuff.
you designed it?
Yeah.
She drew it. She just drew the
I just
design on
kinda-
here,
Wow.
Do it.
Yeah,
And
that's
what
why.
comes out, comes out.
and then I carved it. So
This feels like a really chill process. Like there's no really
Exactly.
too much worrying about.
this kind of stuff.
Chris, do you ever get stressed out when you're doing your printing?
Not so much the printing,
Uh-huh.
the carving when I've done like that, like those two, the Bill Monroe and then Graham Parsons. Those ones, and I'll show you the block for those. It gets to a point where you have more to do, but you really slow down because you've got so much invested, so much time, you don't want to screw it up. 'Cause if you screw that up, it's kind of hard. It can be hard to fix.
And
So-
I think you told me that you didn't like the background, right?
On the Graham Parsons, yeah. So that's why there's really no background. I kind
You just kept
of
erasing
cut
it,
it out.
carving your way. I like the red and yellow though. Was that added with paint later? Or did you print
that's
that in?
paper
Oh.
that I kind of glued on that one. But there's another version of it there, just the black and white. That
Stars,
I kind of put some stars on it. But the block for that one is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
That could be like wallpaper. You could wallpaper your entire kitchen with that. What do you think, Catherine?
I think you could. I think it would make good fabric too.
Yeah.
like as a fabric.
Chris might have to hire studio assistants.
Studio assistants,
Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what Julie does.
Yeah.
It's got all these assistants.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as I think there's gonna be some of those spotty parts on this one too.
Is that usually the first print, since it's just kind of absorbs the ink?
Yeah,
Oh, I see. You don't have to like actually take it back. You could just do it.
you can do it either way. Yeah,
Cool.
There's no big rules with that. So.
Let's see.
First
Other
print,
side.
pull your
Well,
design.
he did one just kind of to see. And then,
Sorry. I kind of screwed up there. I didn't get the blankets back far enough.
Yeah. Doesn't that always happen when you're on camera? And it's live.
I know, because I'm on camera so
Every
much. so
time.
it's just every
Yeah.
fucking time.
I
You
know.
think you could put a purse through there?
yeah, that purse just has.
Not through there.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, sure. Especially that pretty far.
Chris, do you do any leather work?
Leather?
Yeah. Would you ever try? Like carving and stuff?
Chris, we gotta print this on leather, and then we'll make it into like custom belts and wallets and
I would
purses.
just ask the question, do I carve on leather?
Yeah. But you could print on leather. Could you print on leather?
Well, I'm asking, but
Let's
I think we should try it tonight.
see what
We
this
could
looks like.
have a whole new thing.
whoa.
Let's see, Chris.
Wow.
Oh,
interesting.
Oh my
That's
god.
So,
Oh, is that like a
Gorgeous.
Okay.
person's face there too?
so the cool thing about this when I did the first test print, because I carved it like this, I think. I mean, it's always in reverse, but the thing I discovered with this is you can view it any way. You can rotate it, and it's different, and it works. So there's four ways you can look at this.
That's a person's face with eyes, right?
Yeah,
You can make a bunch of tiles and continue it.
but it looks interesting from.
That's when you know
4
you got
points of view.
a good
Yeah.
design, right? When it works.
So I'm gonna mount it on a box, black box, and then
Yeah.
you can just turn it every month.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so
You have a different print.
so looking at it from your perspective, you got a favorite perspective that you like the most right now?
I don't like that
I love this leafy shape with the notes coming out of it.
I like it up at the portrait view.
Nice.
one. Not too bad.
Fun.
Whoops.
Kind of maybe I like that one the best. I don't know.
Mike, that's so cool that you threw in a
Yeah, I
piece
do
of
like it.
art on a goodie
Ah,
bag.
probably.
Anyhow. Well, yeah. So because I did a bunch more today, I carved out a bunch more of this stuff and lightened this up and lightened this up.
Nice job. Okay. That's a beautiful design.
Yeah, leaving white in the background there, but beefing up the dark.
So you
there.
can, like in here, it's a
Oh,
little
you
white.
did the highlights on there.
But I could, if I wanted to, kind of get some more ink in these grooves and press it in there with a roller. I could
It's a little too
pick up more lines if I wanted to. But every print you pull is a little bit different.
And you would just adjust that, the press.
No, if I wanted to pick up something like that, I'd have to do
Mhm.
that manually,
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. So.
That's exciting. Thank you, Catherine, for
Yeah.
sharing
Very
your art
good,
too.
Title?
Nice.
I like
No, I don't have a title. We were at the beach for a couple of days and,
Yeah.
It could be called Beach for a couple
Beach
of days.
for a couple of days. I like it.
that.
okay.
2 days at the
There we go.
beach.
Mhm.
4 days, but yes.
I like the way you do
I
it.
like that.
I think it's okay.
Oh,
look
Right
nice
in for a
now.
second.
Interesting.
Hot
Well,
choke.
I just want to say that we're not done yet. If you just came into our live feed, we're at the studio of Chris Miner in Edmonds, Washington.
Dead Art Studio.
Dead Art Studio. The art is alive and well, I have to say, and happening in this great studio. So, yeah, I'm Tracy from ARTspot, and we do have a few minutes left for Mike to do one more quick demo of our ghosty art over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So
Let's
Mike O'Day is
set this
also an Edmonds artist, actually Briar, my next door neighbor, and working in clay, and is the, you're the guy that's in charge of the sculptor's workshop at this point in time, right?
all right.
I am at this point, yeah. Director of Sculptor's Workshop, which has been around since 1967.
Wow.
All right, one moment, guys. Gotta set this up here so we're all good to go.
Are we good? Are we live?
We're live.
You're alive in the Dead Art Studio.
Should I plug ARTspot one more time?
Sure.
Do it as many times as you want.
Okay, ARTspot, 408
408
Main Street, 1 block west of the fountain for all your art needs,
For needy artists,
for needy artists. And what other kind are there, really?
really. And there's a lot of people that come in and say, they throw their hands up and say, I am not an artist. That's sort of their introductory.
Right, but they play one on TV.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't draw a stick figure. Okay,
Mike,
so here's
you have
a,
some of the coolest sketchbooks I've ever seen now.
oh, thank you, appreciate that. Here's another start of a skeleton, so something similar to this guy. This is just a quick mask. Here's another guy, same thing. I kind of roll out and kind of make a pinch spot. So like I said, none of this stuff can be solid. Otherwise you wait months, if not years, for it to dry and then it explodes in the kiln. You don't want that. So I kind of hollow this out, kind of make a basic shape of a skull. Start with the eyes first. With my handy dandy dental tools. Kind of scratch it up.
Where do you get those dental tools, Mike?
You know, a lot of people ask me that, and from the dentist, believe it or not.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a couple eyeballs already made. Scratch these guys up. And this is slip, it's just kind of liquefied clay. So just add a little slip. Little slip. And the easy way to remember this, I always tell the kids, scratch and attach.
Scratch attach.
Scratch, attach.
Scratch and attach.
Yeah. Alright, this guy's got particularly big eyeballs. So once I get these guys into position, these are really big guys. Alright. Kind of fun thing to do when the clay is still kind of wet is I can kind of push down, make them a little angry. Yes. Anger. It's 2020. Everybody's angry.
Is he gonna vote?
Well, maybe he's just a little
Oh, we already
concerned.
voted, baby.
Nice.
Even though we get our ballots tomorrow, I believe.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So yeah, still kind of a blank slate.
Hey, do you still have
Is
that
that the COVID
that vote
test, Mike?
sculpture that we could put out in the window of ARTspot?
Oh, his eyes are watering. Oh. Yeah. Anybody had to do one of those yet? I was there. It kind of goes back to his brain. So yeah, that about reaches his brain. Okay.
So he's tested.
Let's
Mike, we should make like little masks for your guys.
mask for my guys.
Little COVID masks for them to wear.
I've made a few of
Yeah, the
those
buddies
before.
have them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the bunnies. Do you have them?
Does the bunny have a mask on?
Yeah, I see one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the COVID bunnies.
I forget. I made those.
Mhm.
Yeah, those. So when COVID hit, I made a number of bunnies, and they had their hand out, and it's like 6 foot, please.
Yeah. They all
I made a
sold.
few other
All
guys,
of them
so-
are sold.
Yeah. So I don't know. I got a lot of artist friends, and a lot of us, when COVID hit, a lot of them were like, they couldn't work. It was just everybody's too messed up mentally, spiritually, whatever, that they couldn't work. I kind of felt energized because I felt like I was in my studio by myself, all alone, and it's like, what else is there to do? And it took my mind off of it.
Yeah.
So the first like month and a half of COVID, it's like I was making a lot of stuff. And then when the nice weather started, it's like, I want to be outside. So I kind of took a hiatus for a few months.
Ask questions there.
We've got Jessica Ann watching.
Yeah. So this is just a quick way to make teeth. I got my dental tool and just kind of press straight down.
Jeanette's watching.
When clay is really wet, it's really mushy, and it's kind of hard to get these nice clean lines that I like. Lines like this. So his teeth and all these features like
So
this.
hold it up a little closer to the yeah. Oh, look at those teeth and everything. Yeah.
So when the clay is really wet and soft, it's kind of mushy. So your line quality is like around his teeth. It's all kind of
Right.
mushy and.
There. Yeah. There.
So what I like to do is I like to leave this and set it out for like a day or so, and then the clay gets to be leather hard. Then I come back with my loop tools or my dental tools, and then the clay breaks away really nice and clean. So I always feel kind of bad if I'm teaching little kids in grade school, and it's like, okay, we're doing this project, and you have 1 hour, and boom, we got to get this done, right?
Yeah.
Because when clay's that soft, it's like, you can make stuff, but your lines and everything, you get all this mushy stuff, and it's kind of hard to work with. It's really nice when you can come back a day or a week later, and then they can kind of clean it up. So, unfair advantage for me. Yeah, so basically I kind of do that. I kind of like working on what's that bone structure called? The zygomatic?
Yeah. I was just gonna say that.
Were you?
Yeah.
Just kind of like drawing that in and then come back with a loop tool and cutting it away.
Ooh.
Scary. Makes it look scary.
It's really funny. It's like the first time I showed kids, like grade schoolers, step by step with a loop tool, and I took clay away. They were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And everybody wanted one. I
Well,
could
you're
have
so
sold
deft
it.
at it. I mean, it's your tactile skills. It's interesting watching the comparison between a printmaker who's carving and you're carving, and it's very tactile, and there's a lot of similarity.
Yeah.
In fact, you say that you print off of clay sometimes.
I do. So it's called Sgraffito. So I was working on one today. It's just tile and bright white clay. You paint 2 or 3 coats of a slip, which is kind of like this, like liquefied clay. So a black slip on bright white clay. You let it dry, come back to it like a day later, and basically do what Chris is doing, but it's like a reductive thing, like you're taking away the black.
I have a question. Can
Yeah.
you drink beer when you're doing that?
I don't know. I've never tried that. One final thing is I just kind of like doing a little.
He sounded kind of like serious.
I know.
Yeah, occasionally,
Yeah.
but yeah, I kind of like. I
Well,
like
it's
to
not
pace
PBS
myself.
or anything. Yeah.
It's not PBS.
Yeah.
I just kind of like doing the ribs. Kind of fun.
Cool.
Because you like to rib.
It looks more skeleton, right? Yeah. So basically, there it is.
That poor little
Fire
guy.
this guy. When I fire him, he turns out to be bright white, and then I come back with the black underglaze, rub it all in,
That's what
the
makes
features,
it look cool.
Yeah.
and fire it one more time.
Awesome.
There you
It's
have it.
really cool. Very
we
cool.
have been doing this for an hour and a half,
Wow,
and
time flies.
Look at this, we're finishing
yeah,
right on time.
yeah. So get it on, Chris,
Mhm.
and I'll let you say goodbye to all
Really?
your fans.
Okay.
You're too
Put
your mask
cool.
on.
And I do know that there are people in Florida
Mhm.
that are watching.
Mhm.
I don't know if my sister in Tennessee is or not.
Vote right, Florida.
Mhm.
In Tennessee.
You mean vote left?
Yes.
Vote correctly.
We're not being political.
No,
we're being
No, sorry.
Be careful.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. This has been fun. Thanks, Tracy. This is great. And thanks for all your help over the years. It's been awesome. You've had a lot to do with my success.
Oh, my
Appreciate
gosh.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray. Good man.
Ray the
Right.
man.
Good job, Ray.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
And thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. Again, we will be posting this. If you missed the beginning of the stream, we'll be posting this on our YouTube channel of the same name, ARTspot Edmonds. And I think it'll be posted on Facebook as well, obviously. And just, I guess, check out or just put on the notifications so you can see every time we go live. We'll be doing this once every month, I
So
think.
you're going to do this next month then?
Yeah.
Do you know who it's going to be?
Give us a thumbs up if you want us to keep doing this, because this is I'm kind of having fun with it.
Yeah. So we'll
So
figure
who's
it out.
doing Next month?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Secret.
Yeah, mystery artist.
Yeah, mystery.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, and stay tuned. All right.